Back-to-back Rugby World Cup champions. Rassie Erasmus and players said they wanted to concentrate on winning games in non-Rugby World Cup years, and win games they did this year. New attack coach, new defensive coach, a new way of playing, a ton of new players exposed to what it takes to play for the Springboks. Over 50 players used this year, really showing off the depth that Springboks are currently working with and will be working with until the next Rugby World Cup. Before we get into it, let me know what you thought of the Springboks here. What would you rate them out of 10? Who was your MVP? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe and let's get into it. So some of the numbers: 13 games played, 11 wins, 2 losses, 84.6% winning rate, and retain that number 1 ranked team in the world. A loss to Ireland in South Africa, a loss to Argentina, or the Los Pumas in Argentina. Both games that I think should have been won. With a focus on winning more games during non-Rugby World Cup years, I think they've done really well this year. We are witnessing one of the best rugby teams in the professional era. One of the best, if not the best, rugby team to ever play the game. Springboks started off their international season with a game versus Wales outside of the international window at Twickenham, where a star was born. Sacha Feinberg Gumuzulu. What a player. We'll get into him later. Moved on to a drawn series versus Ireland in South Africa, 1 versus 2. 2 epic test matches. To be brutally honest, I think Ireland win that series because an away win counts more than a home win. And I definitely think Springboks should have won that second test. Credit to Ireland though, but the rugby world deserves a third test, or deserved a third test there and then. Because holy man, I saw that coming. 2 test series, the chances of either team winning one and then having a drawn series were really high, and that's how it played out. The world deserved a third test match. Moving on to the Rugby Championship, dominant performances versus the Wallabies in Australia, backed up with 2 massive wins over the All Blacks in South Africa, really stamping their authority. Going for the clean sweep, Los Pumas did not get the memo, grabbing a huge scalp over the Springboks in Argentina, only to be met with the full force the next week, where South Africa claimed the Rugby Championship. How good. Unbeaten Autumn Nation Test Series with wins over Scotland, England and Wales. What we've learnt, Rassie Erasmus knows what he's doing. Bringing in new coaches, adding a more attacking style of play to the Springboks game. We know how the Springboks they've always been physical, strong set piece, bringing or loving contact. Now they're bringing in that skill set, fleet-footed, able to beat an opponent in different ways. And that is a scary thought for any opponent. So as an opponent coming up versus the Springboks, you don't know what game plan you're walking into. They can beat you up front. They can beat you at the set piece. They can beat you at contact. But now they can also beat you out wide, scoring tries, fleet-footed skills. Who knows? All we know is, off the back of this year, 9 times out of 10, they're going to beat you. My positives, looking at the Springboks season, the depth of the Springboks right now. Man, it is scary. Over 50 players, 51, I'm pretty sure to be exact, this year. Comfortably 3 players in every position that are international quality as well. Not just filling gaps. Quality across the board. A lot of players made their debut. I'm pretty sure it's 13 or 14 players and a lot of them only playing that one test. But man, quality across the board. And it honestly is a scary thought for opposition. And Springboks are just spoiled for choice across the ball in all positions. The introduction of Sacha Feinberg and Gumuzulu into the international stage. If it wasn't for injury, he could have easily taken out the Breakthrough Player of the Year. What a player. Someone that took to international rugby like he was playing touch in the backyard. Man can ball, can kick, can run the ball, can pass, can tackle. Loves everything about rugby. Everything you need to make it or to play or to thrive at international rugby, Sacha Feinberg and Gumuzulu's got, especially for the position at fly-off. What a player. Some work-ons for the few years going forward, I think, for the Springboks. While there was glimpses of the new attack shape, and it is still very new, it's the only work-on for me. Getting better at this new attack shape or having another way to beat an opponent is frightening stuff. Creating space for some of the best finishers in the world, like guys like Cheslin Colby, Kirtley Orenza, Makazolo Mapimpi, Apelele Fassi. How this new way of playing or just another style of playing or beating an opponent is creating space for these guys. It honestly is a scary thought, and the more they can improve on that and the better they can get on that, the better it will be for them going forward. Some more numbers: 7 players in the men's World 15. Peter Steph du Toit wins Player of the Year for his second time. Definitely deserved of this. Yes, calls for oxen chair, justice for the props. Either way, that could have been a tick, but Peter Steph du Toit just, man, workhorse. How good has he been for the Springboks? Not only this year, just forever. Everything he does, everything about the man. Oh man, I hope he can play until the next Rugby World Cup, because that's someone the Springboks are definitely going to miss when he does decide to hang up the boots. My MVP for the 2024 season for the Springboks, Cheslin Colby, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable, Mr. I can do whatever you need, coach. Hooker, scrum off, wing, kick, step, dike, alles, score tries, whatever you need. Cheslin Colby is your man and will be that guy for the next couple of years. What an attacking threat. What a player. What a player to have in your squad. Looking forward to test versus Italy at home. There's a test versus Georgia as well at home. 2 tests versus the All Blacks in New Zealand. This is the big one. Yes, the Springboks beat New Zealand in South Africa this year, but the true test is beating New Zealand in New Zealand, and I can't wait for that. Rating the Springboks here out of 10, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. Room for improvement, and I think Boks definitely should have won those 2 tests that they did lose. Very winnable games, but 8 out of 10 just because there's room for improvement, and that is a scary thought. And yes, you can say that with pretty much all teams, and you want to always have room for improvement. I don't think any team can be perfect, and this Springboks team is very, very close to being perfect. And probably 8 out of 10 might be even a harsh call. It's probably 9 out of 10, to be honest. But a great, great season. Only losing 2. Lots of new players used. Winning games in non-World Cup years. I don't think there's much more you can ask from the Springboks for this 2024 year. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the year. Who was your MVP? Who played well? Who didn't? I want to hear from you. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.